Good day, everyone, and welcome back to this new episode of Papa Moved to Mexico, where we examine what life is like retired in Mexico on the north shore of Lake Chapala. For today's weather report, here's what we're experiencing on the north shore of Lake Chapala. This is pretty nice. It is a little cloudy today. There's some rain in the forecast, but very comfortable temperatures. Nice breeze, very delightful. Here's what the family's having in Little Rock, Arkansas. It is quite hot and stuffy today with storms in the forecast, and it looks like a bit of a cooling trend next week. But comparing the two, there is one definite winner that I'm going to pick. We're on our way to pick up drinking water. Let's go. As everyone knows, you cannot drink the tap water in Mexico unless you have an elaborate filtering and UV system, which I'm considering getting, but for now we get our drinking water in the 20-liter garrafons. Normally I purchased these at a little store, an Abarrotes store there in Riberas del Pilar. But for the last several days, they have been out of the brand that we use. And so there is a church in San Antonio that provides free filtered drinking water. It is a lovely day lakeside. Temperature is about 72 degrees. Very nice. usually need about a little more than 2 5-gallon jugs, well, 20-liter jugs. 2 won't quite get us a week. Like I say, normally I go to the abarrotes and buy them 2 at a time, but they've been out for several days. They haven't gotten their delivery from the E-Pura truck. And so I may look into getting a delivery service. So this happened. Yeah, we got flooded right properly. Tuesday morning, we woke up, everything's fine, got the morning going, took the palm cheese outside, made the coffee. Sherry got up a little later and joined me on the love seat in the living room, and we enjoyed a cup of coffee and a breakfast bar. And maybe an hour later or so, Sherry gets up to go back to the bedroom, and she's in ankle-deep water in the hallway. So the line underneath the master bath sink, the hot water line, it was rusted through on where it threads into the connection, and it was spraying water everywhere. The whole back master bedroom, the 2 hallways and the 2 closets in the hallway were all an inch or 2 of water, and more coming. So I was able to turn off the water real easily, and then the cleanup started. Sherry took over. She got every towel in the house, mopping it up in the bedroom. And so I took the mop and the mop bucket into the hallway and just began mopping it up. There's nothing else you can do. You just get it mopped up. Once you get the water turned off, of course, just try to get it out. If we'd had a squeegee, we could have squeegeed it over to the sliding glass doors in the bedrooms and maybe gotten it out a little quicker and easier that way. But it took about 3 hours worth of work of towels and mop with mop bucket. Whew, it was something. But we have a fantastic landlord, and he has hired a fantastic property manager. So the same day, later on that afternoon, we had a plumber. A plumber came to fix the problem. He came back, took a look at it, saw immediately what needed to happen, and not only the connection on one end had rusted through, but where it connects to the faucet had rusted out and broken off as well. So we needed a new faucet in addition to the line being replaced. And so he had to make a couple of trips to get the right size of everything to the hardware store. But he made it back relatively quickly Tuesday afternoon and replaced a new faucet and both lines, hot water and cold water. And the total fee for the plumber's time and the new faucet and hot water line and cold water line, the total fee was 2,200 pesos. 2,200 pesos. I went ahead and I paid that so that was taken care of. And the property manager and landlord said that I can just take that off of September's rent. So this is how we spent Tuesday. Floodwaters. Wonderful. We have, just 2 blocks away, La Estacion. Fantastic pizza place right here in Ribeiras. And it's a good thing that we have the perfect refrigerator for leftover pizza. It has a leftover pizza drawer. Leftover pizza drawer. Okay, here is today's haul from the Wednesday market. 5 delicious looking plums, 2 avocados, aguacates, 2 jalapenos, an onion, 1 big beefsteak tomato. And here we go with blackberries and strawberries, okay? All of that right there was 210 pesos at the Abuela approved vegetable stand. And on the way out, there was a lady selling tamales. These are cheese and bell pepper tamales. She was already out of the pork ones, but I got cheese and bell pepper tamales. There were 4 for 88 pesos. Okay? That's this week's haul from the Wednesday market. Here's this week's episode of Papa's Gringo Cocina. Last episode we made salsa verde, green salsa. Today we're going to make salsa rojo, red salsa. Okay, here's today's ingredients. We have some Roma tomatoes, some guajillo chilies, a jalapeno, a couple of large garlic cloves, and a quarter of an onion. And I have some water heating up over there. So I'm going to turn on the griddle and get going. The guajillos will not take very long. And before we toast them, we're going to snip off the stems and take out the seeds. So the guajillos are going to just steep in the warm water while the tomato and onion, garlic, and jalapeno finish grilling on the grill. By the way, this is staining from strawberries. The cutting board is clean. That's just strawberry juice stains. So these are done. And I'm going to give these a quick slice before going to the blender. I cut the stem off of the jalapeno, the onion, and often a little bit of water is needed before adding the secret ingredient. That's right. A little chicken powder and poquito sal. Alrighty. And blend. Almost forgot the most important thing. The guajillo chilies. Homemade salsa rojo. Try it. You'll never buy salsa at the store again. For this week's viewer question, I'm going to tackle a question that I've gotten 2 or 3 times already, and I've been avoiding the topic. It's difficult to discuss, but I'm going to give it my best shot and be as helpful as I can. Okay, the question is, do I feel safe in Mexico? Here is an excellent visual aid to safety in Mexico. This is Ford Quarterman's flowchart that I copied over from a posting that he did on Facebook. Okay, Ford Quarterman, excellent YouTuber. If you want to see a young man having fun running around Mexico, check out Ford Quarterman. Okay, and so here's the chart, and as you can see, generally, if you're not going to join the cartel, and if you're not going to get drunk and pick a fight with someone in the cartel, you're probably just as safe in Mexico as you are in the United States. Certainly, if you are just staying on a beach resort for a week, not leaving the beach resort, you're definitely very safe. And I think I'm painting with a broad brush and adding a little bit of humor to the question, but this is my experience and how I feel. Okay, since I'm not joining the cartel, I'm not buying and selling drugs, I'm not getting drunk and picking a fight with someone in a gang or the cartel, I feel pretty safe. The only thing resembling anything directed towards us that we've ever experienced in 30 plus trips to Mexico was one dishonest taxi driver we met up with in Puerto Vallarta in the late 90s. Okay, other than that, we have not experienced any crime or successful scams directed towards us. Okay, so to the question, do I feel safe in Mexico? Yes, I feel safer here than I have in a lot of places in many cities in the United States. Well, that's all for this week's episode of Papa Moved to Mexico, where we examine what retired life in Mexico is like on the north shore of Lake Chapala. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me that like button. The YouTube algorithm loves that like button. Okay, and please leave comments and ask questions. The questions really help me know what type of content to include in upcoming episodes. One last thing I would like to ask a favor of viewers that live here in the Ajijic area along the north shore of Lake Chapala. Okay, I need a favor. I would like to add a weekly or maybe every other week a segment where I review, show what a particular restaurant is like, what the food is like, how much it costs, maybe restaurants, bars, delis, things like that. So please drop a comment to recommend any restaurant, cafe, bistro, brunch spot, bar, anything like that that you think might be interesting to feature on an upcoming episode. Queso, hush.